Oh, gotta love that. All right, welcome everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day, I suppose. Welcome to the ESS Presidents Debate for the position of ESS President for the 2021-2022 Council. My name's Eric. I guess I'm serving as the Chief Returning Officer for this elections process. So basically, for those of you who don't care about the policy, which I expect is most of you, I'm just the person kind of running the election, and so I'll also be moderating this debate. How this debate will work is basically I'm going to flip a coin. We're going to pick a candidate to start. And then we will give that candidate 5 minutes to just kind of introduce themselves properly and talk over their platforms. And then the other candidate will get 5 minutes to introduce themselves as well and talk over their platforms. And then we were going to open it up to questions from the floor, from you, hopefully. And so, sorry, I'm getting a message here. Alex, I don't know how to do that.
If you do like beside their screen and then click the 3 dots and then spotlight.
Oh, cool. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then you can do it with all 3. Yeah, and then that way for the recording, it's just like the 3 of you.
Okay, sweet.
Oh wait, I think you're unspotlighting other people.
Oh,
or
maybe
wait,
I can only
no.
spotlight one person at one time.
I think it depends who's talking. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Is there a way to make it?
If you make me co-host, maybe I can do it.
Okay, I'll do that. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry.
So, okay. Alex, you are now a co-host. All right, so how are we doing? It's 6:33. We will get started here. I'm going to flip a coin. This is totally legit because you can all clearly tell if I'm cheating or not, but I promise I'm doing my best, and I don't know a better way to create kind of a randomized thing here, so I'm just going to flip this, and I don't know if you can see this at all, but it's, oh, I didn't even ask.
You didn't assign heads.
Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to ask one of you to select heads or tails. If that person gets it right, then they will go first. And the person who goes first will be the first person to get their 5 minutes to present themselves. And then after that, when we're doing open questions, we're just going to alternate back and forth who's going to give the first answer. So if that works for everyone, I will now flip the coin. And Jessica, would you call it while it's in the air? 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Heads.
Heads, okay. Again, you probably can't see this, but it is heads. So Jessica, you will go first. You will have 5 minutes, and then we will give Abdul 5 minutes. All right. So whenever you're ready to begin, Jessica.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica. I'm a second-year civil engineering student. I've been on the ESS Council for 2 years. So in my first year, I was first-year representative. I helped plan a movie night, and I also helped plan the annual program declaration panel. And then this year, I ran for vice president internal, and I've been working on bringing in the new cohort of student reps who've been really great this year. I've also been working on the tutoring portal on the website and seeing how, attending faculty meetings and bringing sort of the online student perspective to those. And then we've also started as a council looking at orientation for the fall and things like that. So as president, my main goal would just be to increase the engineering community participation at UVic. So just by like thinking about all the more well-known engineering schools around the country, like Queens, U of T, Waterloo, all these big schools, they have like a huge engineering spirit and culture that has been built over decades of them having this big engineering school. And I really want to help foster that spirit at UVic in a very inclusive and diverse way, which the ESS Council over the past few years has been working very hard to do as well. And yeah, the things that I want to do to try and tackle this are to sort of start and build our on-campus and social media presence as ESS. I also want to try and connect with students from the moment they step onto campus. So the moment they step onto campus as first years, and also just really foster a culture of like having fun, being supportive, and just so people know about the ESS. So yeah, like our on-campus and social media presence. I just want to make sure we have more active social media platforms so that people know what we do, who we are, and like know about us right away when they first get onto campus. And then once it's safer for us to do so and we're back on campus, I want to be able to like reach out to people and like start conversations and advertise things in person just by like starting up a conversation with people so that they can put a face to a name sort of thing. And then we're also sorry. I also just wanted to find ways to like have more jacket giveaways and things like that, just because that could be a fun way to sort of build the community. Then the main thing that I think all of us on the council really want to focus on is getting the engagement right from first year. And so the main thing that we're going to be focusing on over the summer and what I'll be focusing on if I'm elected as president is the first year orientation. And we're also hoping to include second years in the first year orientation. And yeah, I just think that's like the key way to get first years involved and the key way to grow our community, because without getting first years involved, they're probably not going to get involved later if they don't know about us. So that'll be a key thing for the summer term to plan. And then I also kind of want to do some more outreach to local high schools to get people really excited about the UVic engineering community and like knowing about the ESS and getting excited about being a part of UVic engineering. And also just inspiring like more girls and more women to get into engineering in general. And then the last thing is just sort of having fun. I want to make sure that everybody is always having fun. And I always want to hear from students about what they want us and the faculty to be doing. Because obviously we're not going to grow the engineering community if nobody's interested in what we're doing and nobody's interested in the events and things that we're having. So I definitely want to make sure that we're doing things that people actually want to do. Yeah, so I hope that I can make this year a great return to campus. And thanks everybody for coming.
Great. Thank you, Jessica. Good job on the time there. I'm sorry, I should have told you that I can time for you if you would like. Abdul, you now have 5 minutes to please tell us about yourself and your platform.
Thank you, Eric.
Ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abdul, and I am currently the Vice President of External Relations at ESS. For the past 2 years, I've been heavily involved with the ESS in all types of positions, from directorships to coordinators to a VP position. And I've not only experienced all the levels of the ESS, I've also experienced all the aspects, from running events to sitting on faculty meetings, university meetings, such as the Dean Selection Committee, to the Vice President External area, to a whole lot of other things, from social media to almost everything. And I think with like all of these experiences, I think I'm ready to take the next step of becoming the ESS president. I think I have the well-rounded like background to be able to support anyone in my role as president. My platform this year will focus on one main idea, which is transition. So firstly, I think we're all aware that university's coming back in person in the fall. And I want to, as soon as I get in, start the process of figuring out how we want to transition from online to in-person, as well as set action items for you that you like can expect to see from us by the end of the year and by the end of your degree or wherever or whatever. So my first action item is to send out a survey to all engineering students and get an idea of what students want the ESS to do. then release a strategic plan showcasing how we're going to do that, as well as an action, like action items up to a year from now, just showcasing exactly how we're going to implement everything we promised we will do. My next thing is this fall semester is going to be the first fall semester where 2 full years of engineering students, first and second year, are going to come to campus never seeing it before. A lot of them will be coming to Victoria for the first time, and I want to focus on making sure that they have the best orientation they can. Over the past 2 years, I've been working to make orientation at UVic Engineering, and over the past 8 months, I have reached out to our partners at the University of Manitoba, as well as other national, regional, and national partners, to get their help in bringing a solid plan of orientation to UVic. I am currently working with the University of Manitoba and with the rest of the UVic ESS to prepare a well-rounded plan to give to the faculty, stating this is what we're doing, blah, 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 and making sure we can not only have a good orientation, but to be sure that we involve everyone in that orientation, from faculty members to people from outside the university to everyone in our community, to make sure that our students are ready for their first year on campus. It's been something that I've ran on multiple times before, and I've been working on it, and I promise to continue working on it and have good results by September. Another thing is right now with us, with a new Dean of Engineering coming in, one that is super interested in seeing student initiatives such as orientation brought back to UVic, and something that I've been discussing with her, because I've met her a couple times. I think this is going to be the best time to do it. Finally, I know it's been rough having online clubs and a presence, so I want to dedicate a lot of my time to helping clubs get back into full in-person activities, and help support clubs that might have not had the best transition to online, such as like the Women in Engineering and Computer Science, and make sure that they are back in full swing by the fall. Thank you, and yeah.
Great. Thanks for being so good on time, both of you there. I appreciate that. All right. So we've had a few new people join us. So once again, welcome to the ESS Presidents Debate. We have just heard the two candidates for president, Jessica Hubbs and Abuelazm. Abdul, I'm sorry for butchering your last name. Feel free to correct me if you would like to.
It's fine.
All right, I apologize. I should have prepared for that. Anyways, so for those of you who are new, there is a recording of this, and so you'll be able to watch those. They just introduced themselves and talked a little bit about their platform. I will now open the floor to any questions from the audience. You have two ways of asking a question. One, you can either type it into the chat and I will ask the questions, or two, you can just type in question into the chat and I will acknowledge you and you can turn on your microphone and ask it. I do ask that we hold any joke questions until the very end, until we're out of real questions. And my plan is to give each candidate 2 minutes per question. If there are any particularly simple questions or particularly detailed questions, we might adjust that, but we'll see what the questions are like. And I think that 2 minutes per candidate to answer will be fair. Does anyone have any questions to start? All right, so we have one question from Russell. How would you describe your leadership style? And so, as mentioned before, what we're going to be doing here is alternating who goes first. And so to start, I will give Abdul 2 minutes to answer this. And Abdul, if you see my arm in the corner just counting down, that's the last 15 seconds of your time, and I will stop you when your time runs out. Same for you, Jessica, when it's your turn. So Abdul, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you so much, Russell. I would describe my leadership style as bottom up. So I, as president that get elected, would be there to support all the other individuals. If anyone has any problems or needs any help, they come to me for that support and that help. I focus very much on on helping people develop their own identity and their own ideas, and working with them to implement those ideas. I feel like I am more of like a nurturer, and like make sure to help people do what they want to do, than I am a person who tells people what to do. And I think that's what I'll be doing most in my tenure as president if I get elected. I also learned this from Tim, president, like over a year ago now, that the president is there for the council and not the other way around. I'm there to support you, and I'll be there to support the council, the executive, our DAOs, anyone for that entire tenure as president. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Abdul. Jessica, when you're ready.
Yeah, so I guess I would describe my leadership style. I definitely have a lot of really big ideas that I'm bringing into this year that I want to get done. So I would definitely want everybody to sort of pitch in to what my goals are. But then I also think that I definitely am always, like even the past couple of years, I'm definitely always reaching out to other people in the council to see what everybody's up to, because I tend to always want to be like getting involved and like helping people with what they're doing and making sure that everything that everybody's doing is as successful as it can be. So I guess I'm a bit of both of what things like Abdul said. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So for the next question we have here from Max. Max, thank you. How will you support first years and second years experiencing campus and away from home life for the first time ever, relating to support and ease of transition? And so this time we will ask Jessica to go first. Jessica, when you're ready.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Last year when I first got onto campus, I definitely didn't really know about the ESS from the moment I got onto campus. And I was sort of like looking around to reach out to try and find things that I could get done. Definitely wasn't for lack of the council trying. It's just really tough to get in touch with first years when, you know, there's no orientation and things like that going on. So I think definitely part of my key plans for this year would be to just improve that on-campus presence and that social media presence, because if ESS council members are sort of around all the time, like showing off the jackets, handing out flyers, just starting up conversations with first years at like heading into class or coming out of res and things like that. If you just see us around, you'll be a lot more inclined to get involved, and you'll be a lot more inclined to sort of feel supported in getting involved. And then obviously one of our huge goals for this year is getting that first and second year orientation going for the fall, because I think that getting all of you guys together, meeting us, seeing the campus, like having fun from the moment you get onto the UVic campus and like seeing what UVic engineering is all about, like that'll be a really good way to just start out. And then also just like having all of our supports in place and just being super available and like being able to keep in touch with all the first years, like through email, through our social media posts, and just like being around so that you guys know what supports we have available throughout the year once you get into classes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Jessica. Abdul, your turn.
Yes. So thank you, Max, for that question. I think something that Jessica and I both agree on very much is orientation and the importance to bring that back. And that is something I've been working on for a while. I'm still working on, and that is one of the first ways I'll help first years and second years transition to in-person the in-person campus life. Another way that I've been thinking about is I wanted to reinstate the engineering equity, diversity, and inclusivity, or inclusion, I think, sorry, committee back into effect when we are back in person. For those that do not know, this committee is a committee that is made by, that constitutes a student from the ESS, a student from Leadership Through Diversity, and a student from Women in Engineering and Computer Science, plus 2 students from the general student body, who all are there as a group to go to like anonymously, anonymously, to give complaints about anything that has happened to you or that you've seen happen, and you give those complaints to them, and they have direct power over the ESS, over LTD and WEX, to ask for any information they want to make like a decision on what has happened, and do actions to rectify anything that has happened to any individual. And I think providing something like that would help with a safe space for students coming back or coming into this world for the first time. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Abdul. So we have a few questions here building up, as I'm sure everyone can see. The next one is from Dominic. Question, do you see the unofficial, in quotations, UVic and Computer Science Discord growing with the community as we return to in-person? Do you have any plans to incorporate the Discord for community building? So Abdul, I believe this is your turn to answer first.
So I know a lot of you may or may not know that I am a part of the moderation team of the UVic ECS Discord, and I've been there. I've been in that Discord since the day it was made by Sue, and I've seen it grow a lot. And I think the best way to incorporate that Discord for community building is not only help support it as the ESS, but also leverage it for sharing events, information, providing that like same level of support that we do in person to people on Discord. I know that I was one of them back in first year, and I know that other people are, there are a lot of people out there that aren't as comfortable interacting with people in person and would much prefer doing it like on the internet. And I don't want those people to not be serviced by the ESS. And I think making sure that we still focus a lot of our efforts on keeping that Discord a safe space for students, as well as put services like our ESS weekly meetings on there and stuff like that. I think that is important, and I think that's how we incorporate that community into the engineering community, and how we can incorporate the engineering community into a more safe space for people who aren't as comfortable interacting in person. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Abdul. Jessica, when you're ready.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Abdul that the ESS has started to do a few more things on the Discord more recently. So like we started putting our weekly meetings on there rather than on Zoom. We also have like the ESS lounge on there. I think as a council, what we can do is really try to get everybody more comfortable with Discord. I'm guilty of this. I really don't know how to use Discord. So it's definitely a goal for all of us to get more comfortable with it so that we can support all those people who are more comfortable communicating online and who are really active on the Discord so that they can see all of the things that we have going on. Yeah, the Discord has definitely been growing a lot. I think the moderator team is doing a pretty good job at keeping it a safe space, like Abdul said. And I see it as a great resource to be able to get in touch with pretty much the entire faculty of engineering and computer science. And yeah, it's a great way to get our events out there. And I think we should definitely be leveraging that moving in into even when we get back onto campus. Because we've just started using it a little bit more now, but we could definitely keep that going. That's one of the things that came out of COVID that we definitely want to make sure we continue.
All right, thank you. And so the next question we have is from Alexandra. What will be your number one priority in the transition back to in-person classes? And so Jessica, I believe you're up again.
I think my number one priority is definitely going to be just getting people to know about ESS, what we do, and having things that people want to get involved in. So hearing from immediately, like getting the word out there that we're back and we're ready to do things and ready to have people join us. That'll be my key focus. And also just immediately reaching out to the new dean and the new faculty members to get their support so that we can really be successful in getting our outreach and really growing our community, because without the support from the faculty, we really can't do much in getting more students involved and like getting the word out about what we're doing. And just, yeah, we need both the support from the faculty as well as like an immediate action plan to how we're gonna encourage students to want to be a part of the ESS.
Okay, great, thank you. Abdul, I believe you're up next whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so to transition back to in-person classes, I think my main priority is going to be focusing on building up a support network that everyone is able to use once we're back in person. We don't know how badly we've all been damaged by being online for over a year. And I think there's going to be a lot of culture shock as soon as we get back to in-person classes again. And I think having a support network is going to be vital to make sure that everyone can like slowly begin internally transitioning themselves back to being comfortable with in-person classes as much as we've gotten like comfortable or used to being online. But yeah, that's going to be my number one priority, and I'll achieve that by working with some of the clubs like LTD and WEX that help build that support network by making sure that students are aware of resources that they can get to help them out. And I'll do that by working with the new VP Student Life to make sure that we can provide a list of resources from the ESS, from the engineering faculty, from other people on campus, and just make sure that everyone knows that they are going to be helped by us and by other people on campus.
Great, thank you both for that. So we have a longer question this time from Nathan. You have both mentioned starting an orientation event of some kind. Bring this to fruition in the past has met difficulty both logistically and from faculty support. How do you plan to make this happen, and what does it look like to you? Since no other year has had an orientation like this, are you opening it up to other years? And so Abdul, I believe this question is to you first.
Yes. So let's start with the first question. How do I plan to make this happen, and what does it look like to me? That first part, I think I'm going to leverage the momentum of a new dean coming in, as well as some peer pressure that I've been working on gathering from the deans of other universities, like letters to our faculty being like, hey, this is something that we do every year, and it helps us a lot in terms of like making sure students stay and are happy. And so this is something that you should have as well. I've been working on that, as well as I've also been working with Tim, the president from a year ago, to also get industry pressure so that we can make sure that the faculty knows that this is something that is needed. I'm right now writing a report that is going to include all these letters, include a plan for orientation, and include why we think this is super important. And we hope that with that momentum and with that pressure, we can push the orientation stone forward. And since no other year has had an orientation like this, are you opening it up to other years? Yes. The way I've been planning it out with our team internally and with our partners externally is that for the first year and second years will be there as like people in need of mentorship and stuff like that. And the older students will be there as more mentors type of situation where we match older students with younger students to have them like network and talk and stuff like that, and focus on making sure everyone can get to meet everyone and enjoy the festivities, as well as learn about what UVic and the community has to offer to them. Thank you.
Thanks for being good on the time there, Abdul. All right, Jessica, you're next when you're ready.
Yeah, so the first part of the question, I think that how we are going to make this happen is really pushing the idea that this is something that is necessary for the engineering program at UVic. We haven't had it in the past couple of years, and we have noticed that engineering students at UVic have not been staying for graduate programs as much as they have been at other schools. I actually learned this in the faculty meeting last week, that we've been having trouble keeping our students on into graduate programs. And while the orientation might not seem super related to that, it does affect people getting involved into the UVic engineering community and therefore being happy and feeling supported, and then going on to into graduate programs, being happy alumni who like to donate to the program and things like that. So I think if we really push to the faculty and, like Abdul said, really leverage the fact that we have a new dean coming in who is super supportive of sort of student initiatives like this, we'll be able to make this happen. And what does it look like to you? I think we're definitely planning on having the first and second year classes be a part of this. Even though more years haven't had this experience, these are the only 2 years that have never been on campus before. And we are planning on having the buddy system, like Abdul said. We've both been on the team to plan this, so we do have a lot of the same ideas. And yeah, really just getting people excited and knowing people and seeing what the engineering community could be after having this orientation in place.
Thanks to you both. I thought those were some great answers. I possibly could have given a little bit more time for that question. But if we have more questions about that, we can absolutely explore that topic. So the next question we have is from Alexandra. What is your plan for the budget surplus that the ESS has accumulated over COVID? And so Jessica, I believe you are first when you are ready.
Yeah, so I don't have a specific detailed plan for it. First thing that I'll do if I'm elected president is actually see how much of a surplus we have, because I know that you've talked about it, but I don't know the exact number. Something that I have been thinking about in my head, I don't know if this would be a this year project or just like getting started this year, is maybe possibly, I've talked about this with Abdul, converting the Jam Factory into our own engineering student building for engineering students to hang out in. So that is an idea I have. I don't know if we have enough money for that right now. But I also do want to hear from students and hear what projects that people actually want to put into place. I also do want to put things towards things like the SINCANT fund. Maybe we can give that fund a little bit more money, other things like that. And also I do want to help support the clubs and all the teams that have had a challenging time over COVID. And yeah, they can always use more money to keep doing the great things that they've been doing the past many years. So.
Great, thank you. Abdul.
Yes. Max, can you Yes. So, what is the plan for the budget surplus we declare to work? I think one great idea is I know that clubs and students in general don't have enough student space on campus. And I know that the university right now is building new engineering buildings. So I was thinking of donating some of the money that we have towards the construction of those buildings, because I know they aren't having the best time with fundraising, and we can donate an amount from the surplus to securing more design space and student space in the new buildings. I think another good use is to take the student spaces we have right now, like the ESS lounge and the area outside of it, and renovate it to make it more accessible, to have more amenities there. I know we have like a microwave right now, and that's about it. And so we can maybe get more of them instead of having the long lines that we sometimes see around lunchtime. Make sure that we renovate that area. Lastly, I think that, using it to push some of that money back to clubs. So now that they're back in person, they can begin planning for competitions and stuff like that, and the return to running back to like fully back to where they were 2 years ago, or like a year and a half ago. And those will be my main ideas. I also know there is some pressure from some students to get a 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton. So we might look into that as well. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you both. So the next question that we have is from Russell. Both of you sound like you have similar goals and leadership ideas. you should be getting an email in the morning. All right, so I will now turn off this recording.